women and discover that as women.
Talks on violence against women in Nigeria in recent times is slowly becoming regular as cases of gender-based violence continues on a rapid rise. This woman was forced into child marriage in which she suffered abuse and constant battery until her husband died. She was forced to remarry, taking along her daughter, who again underwent abuse by her stepfather, who also continued to abuse and batter her mother. Another one, a child, suffered consistent defilement by two men, suffering psychological damages until she became addicted to sex. She is still 9 years old. These are just some of the many common cases women in Nigeria have to face, many times unreported and without support or immediate solution.
In one small community around there, we found just a person defiling 9 girls. And in one school, a teacher defiled up to 25 pupils. So when you look at these things, it means it's an epidemic. The World Bank study put it that it results in more death than road accident, than war, than cancer, or the obstructed liver put together.
As of 2006, a national survey puts percentage of victims of gender violence and abuse at 64.5%, and this has multiplied in the last 8 years. The reason for this prevalence is hinged on weak laws, wrong socialization, and lack of information.
Do victims know that they have solutions? Do they know where they can go? Are there shelters for women? Again, this comes to the structure, the social structure. What kind of societal nets do we have for women who are being abused?
Under the Evidence Act, a woman must prove that she is not a prostitute. Before that she is not a prostitute, before evidence can be adduced as to the fact that she has been abused. She has to prove who is on trial. Is it the rapist or the raped?
You have mothers who don't believe their daughters when they tell them that they've been molested by a neighbor, by a family friend. They tell them to shut up. They tell them to keep quiet. They don't want to press charges. They don't want the society to look at their daughter as the one that has been tainted. And that culture of silence is what perpetuates it.
India and South Africa are top on the list of countries with a high rate of gender-based violence. Many gender activists fear Nigeria runs a risk of topping that chart unless actions are taken now.
The reason why they're staying in situations like this is really because there's nowhere else for them to go to. So why can't we set up a place where they can come and feel safe? And then provide them with all the necessary detail, legal support, everything possible.
What Nigeria really needs is a national hotline. A telephone number, those 5-digit numbers, where that women can memorize easily. And you call that number when you need help, and you don't need to talk a lot of grammar. There are trained professional people at the other end of the telephone line.
Besides a culture of silence and societal stigmatization, information for women and the vulnerable, as well as support for victims, are still grossly inadequate, making the fight against gender-based violence a long walk yet to begin. Omelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.